excited to be back and working with my Cheeky Studio kit for their design team. So I've pulled out these two papers that I want to use. If you want to see the full package that they sent me to work with, there is an unboxing video and I'll have the links down below. You can check that out. But these are two of the papers that I wanted to use. I have this family photo little selfie that I had left over from a layout that I did previously, and so I decided this was perfect. I love these little cameos, so I'm going to fussy cut those and do some fun little treatments. I'm going to cut these for borders. I have a piece of white cardstock because I think I'm going to mat my background. And then I pulled two papers. This is from Simple Stories Bliss, so I'm going to use just a small strip of this. And this is Pretty Little Studio called Happy Life or Savannah Dreams. Savannah Dreams, and the paper itself is Happy Life. So I want just these little phrases up here for my background. I also kept the tissue paper that the product was wrapped in because I knew I wanted to use it. And I'm using mostly embellishments from Norwegian wood and just a few little of the leaves from the Winter Flowers pack, and I pulled out some bows. So I'll show you. I pulled out the embellishments that I wanted to use as far as the color scheme went, the theme that I'm working with, and all of that. So you can tell I pulled out a ton, way more than I will use, and I still have a ton left in the package. So I love that. Pulled out a couple of bows. I probably will just use one, but I have those ready. And then I went to my stash and pulled out just a few things. I had these little cork pieces, and they're from American Crafts, the One Canoe 2, and I cannot remember the name of the collection, but I'll try to get that in. This is just a little tag that I had cut out of patterned paper, and some little enamel pieces. These are from Bella Boulevard. This is just random stuff. And I'll show you, I had this sketch page from December on Page Maps laid out because this was the sketch that I had used last time. So I have this one here that's very similar. Just everything, the photos and the title and everything is all in that horizontal band, where this one made a block up above the band. This is what I'm thinking that I'm going to kind of loosely put my design on, or from, is that. So you can check that out from Page Maps. And I think that's it. I'm going to cut some papers, get my background going, and we will get this layout put together. Hopefully it will go together really quick. So I have my background ready to go. I just cut about 1/4 of an inch off each side. And then I took the script paper up at the top and I did about 6 inches, 7, let's see. No, it would be 8 or so inches. My bottom is like 3.5, whatever's left, 9, 8.5. Boy, I can't do math this morning. So anyways, I just kind of split it into 1/3 and 2/3. That was my goal. And then I took the border strip paper and I just cut several of the strips apart and I chose the ones that I wanted. I knew I wanted the ones with all the hearts. I loved the green with the leaves because it was dark. It gave a pop of color and weight down here. And also on these branding strips, I ran those, or on the border strips, I ran them all the way from edge to edge. So I didn't cut those down like I did the background papers. I went ahead and included this one that was just a light pink. And so you saw me just kind of moving them around, just trying to decide what order I wanted them. And basically what I decided upon was the green was the darkest, the heaviest. I wanted it towards the bottom. And I went back and forth between the pink and the hearts. But in the end, I decided the hearts looked better against the dark green and the light pink up at the top. So really, there's probably no right or wrong, but those were my thinkings behind putting that. Then I had the green scalloped one that I cut, and I'm going to attach it to the top. But at this point, I wasn't quite decided whether it was going to add something to the layout or if it would take away, and you know, if I really wanted to do that. So I just left it up the top so that I could see it. But it really does a great job of bringing the green from the bottom paper up to the top and kind of closing the layout off. So now I'm ready to start on the photos and then get to the embellishing. So I just took a piece of this tissue paper. It's kind of doubled over in half, not completely doubled, but part of it's doubled. And I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger than the photo. And I decided I didn't want like the clean edges because some of it, the two sides are folded over, so it's a smooth edge. But the top and the bottom I decided to tear just to give a little bit more organic feel to the pieces of the layout, because right now I have everything just very linear, all these straight lines, and so I just felt like tearing the top and the bottom would just give a little bit of fluidity to the layout. And also the polka dots, the white polka dots are just barely kind of showing through. And I decided I wanted to go ahead and pop dot it up because I'm going to have a ton of embellishments going out from each side. So I wanted that to be raised up just a little bit. You can see here the paper that had all these cameos on it. I went ahead and fussy cut one of each. And it's kind of perfect because it really does represent my family. My husband loves bears. I love owls. My daughter is really into foxes right now. And then we have the little deer, which I don't know if that really signifies my son or not because he's never in photos, but he is my little deer. So we'll go ahead and put him as my son. And the reason, when I saw this paper, and the reason I kind of wanted to do it with this photo was they just reminded me of little photos on a wall, the old antique oval photos or paintings that they would do of people. That was just what it reminded me of, and so I thought it was perfect with these little selfies. So I just have a lineup of selfie little animals and our selfie family. That was my thinking behind it. I love the way it turned out. It's not always that you have this idea in your mind when you see a paper that it works out as well as what you kind of think that it will, but this one did. I absolutely love this layout. So now I have all of the embellishments that I'd pulled out, and I'm just going to start narrowing them down as to what I want to use. I had these two that were the clusters themselves, and in the beginning I really didn't think I wanted to use them, but because they were part of the kit I decided, to put them in there so I could try. So you can see on the right I have one, that's the cluster, and then I have all these individual flowers. So I'm going to kind of play on the left hand side with just individuals and not the cluster to see which way I like it better. And in the end, I do like the individual flowers better. So I will get rid of the cluster. Now I'm just kind of looking at the colors. I wanted some rust colored photos on the left because I have the rust colored fox on the right. I have the yellow that's behind the bear, so I wanted some yellow flowers on the right. And I have the brown in the bear, so I wanted to pull that over to the right. I have that light green and turquoise on the right behind the deer and that little flower, so I wanted to pull that to the left. So that's all I'm doing as I'm pulling those flowers around. I started with pretty much all of them, just kind of divvied them up, and then I go back and start pulling out the ones that I'm not as crazy about or that I don't need because it's just too many. Here I'm just tucking them in, trying to see how many I want, how I want them laid out. And when I get finished with this side, it pretty much stays the way that I set it. I'm just pulling, like, see, I had that light blue green up at the top, and then I had the darker green. When I pull it in, I decide that lighter green really needs to go to the bottom because then it's kind of at an angle from the deer. Same thing with the green. I wanted it up kind of up above. I needed something a little bit darker behind that pink owl framelit because it was kind of getting lost in the paper. So that's all I'm doing, just tucking those in until I decide how I like them. And then I had the darker black leaves that I really thought I was going to use. I thought I wanted some of that black since I have the black script up the top, but in the end I didn't really like it. I liked the lighter ones that came from the winter flower mix, so I tucked just a few of those in behind the flower clusters just to give kind of that filler, just like you would in a flower arrangement or something. It's just kind of some fillers. And I know in the end, my little strips that I took so much time choosing and putting in, you really don't see much of them, but it's enough that it fills in those gaps behind those flowers and stuff. So it's, to me, it's really important that it was there. It wouldn't have looked right if I hadn't put anything in there. So I fast forward and saved you watching me just adhere all of those little clusters down, and now I'm going to work on the rest of the embellishing. I had several different word phrases that I liked, but I decided on this one that said stay wild, and I decided on the bottom left corner. So now I'm trying to figure out, where do I want the rest of the embellishments? I had the little family epoxy sticker from Bella Boulevard, and originally I'd thought about just doing 3 clusters around the photo and doing my triangle. So that's why I kind of moved it up there, but I wasn't wild about it. But again, when I'm not too sure, I let it set for a minute, move on to another area, and just kind of let it gel for a little bit and decide. And in the end, I definitely do not like it. I'm going to pull it down below the photo and keep everything kind of in the bottom 3, but I'm also going to put this cluster up at the top. So I did decide I love the green up there. It really just finishes off that layout. So I'm going to go ahead and work on a little cluster up at the top. And you'll notice in the sketch there is like a little tag up there that has date written on it, so you could put something. But in the beginning, I really didn't think I was going to do anything up there, but I do. So I went ahead and moved that family is everything epoxy sticker down to kind of finish out that embellishment cluster off to the right. And I had these cork pieces from One Canoe 2, and I really kind of wanted to get those in and get them used up because it was just kind of odds and ends left in my stash. And I'm really trying to finish off some of the embellishments left over from kits. So I decide it's a perfect little base for up at the top. It matches that green, and it also repeats the 2 little green splotches you see at the bottom of the page. So that kind of creates a triangle as well in those 3 colors. So I had a bunch of different butterflies up there trying to decide which one that I liked. I trimmed off just a little bit of the white because it was covering up more of the words than I wanted to, but I just adhered it down the little body of the butterfly, and then I'll put some pop dots underneath the right hand side, and the left is up on that cork piece, so it's good. The other epoxy sticker was this orange hexagon with these little leaves, and when that came in the kit, I was like, I'm probably never going to use that. Orange is not a color that I scrap or use. It kind of had a funky design that really went with these other embellishments, but not much of anything else. But it was perfect for this layout. It looks like it was made for this collection. So I decided to put it down with the Stay Wild, and it's going to repeat that hexagon from up at the top. And you'll see here in a moment when I cut off the extra pieces hanging off, I take the leftover from that cork hexagon with the green and I bring it down below to the bottom to that cluster. So it really just ties everything back in together. The last little bitty touches that I do are the little heart puffy stickers. I get one of those in all of the clusters. And then I had my Tim Holtz phrase sticker book, the ideology book, and I've loved using those. So I just went through and pulled a few out that went with what I wanted to say about this photo. And since I've journaled kind of already about this night, this is just kind of a fun layout. I just picked out phrases and things that really fit my family and what I was feeling about this photo. Put them on the tag and at the bottom, and then that center cluster. So again, kind of a little visual triangle going. I'm going to put some twine through here. The last thing that I do is I splatter it with some gold color shine, and then I use some gold thickers to put the year 18 right there, and here are some close-ups, and that's it. I love this layout. So I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to check out Cheeky Studio, and remember you can save 10% using the code GUEST10. I'll have all the information down below for you. If you're new to my YouTube channel, I would love to have you click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be notified when new videos are revealed. And here are a couple of videos you can check out as well. So thanks so much for watching. I'll be back with another layout using my Cheeky Studio products, so be sure to come back and watch that. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye.